somebody told you back in the spring or in January that Jason Jenkins and Jason Jones would be two of the top guys, how surprised would you have been? How happy are you that they're going to?
Well, both Jaden and Jason, the way they attack their rehab, what they're able to do right now is not surprising from that standpoint. But if you had asked me, when it first happened, what the average person's expectation to be able to recover from their injuries and put themselves in that position, it would have been a challenging task. But, they're the first in the building, last to leave kind of mentality guys in terms of their rehab. And you could see that the fight, the desperation that they had to put themselves back in a position to be able to play. So I have a lot of respect for both of them and hope that all the hard work pays off the way that we all want it to.
Chris, why are Omar and Stephon good fits for Jack?
Both of them have natural pass rushing skill set. They both have good short area quickness. They're both powerful at the point of attack. So they have some traits of being a shorter, undersized defensive end. And I think both of them are very comfortable doing it. So I think those are good spots for them. Obviously, OG has that background coming out of high school. I mean, that's primarily what he did was stand on the line of scrimmage. And Steph as really that was how he was integrated into the Coach White system at Syracuse. He did a lot of on-the-ball work. So both of them have some familiarity, and both of them are good at it.
When you're looking, you guys are doing game prep for Alabama, looking throughout the offseason at their film. Given how unique their quarterback was last season, does that create any challenges in trying to project ahead with what they can do?
Yeah, I mean, I think you do two things. I mean, you look at it on its face value in terms of what they did and how they did it, including the incorporation of quarterback run game. And then you kind of take the next step as you project from a coaching staff standpoint is, will some of those plays show up out of Wildcat? Will some of those plays show up with Ty Simpson? Will some of those plays be packaged for a backup quarterback? And we'll see on Saturday how it all plays. But we prepare with the understanding and awareness that obviously personnel changes, but the things that they like and in situations may not. So I think there's a twofold element to the preparation in terms of that.
What did AJ show you in the preseason to get that secondary spot in the linebacker room?
Yeah, AJ, I thought as spring went on, he continued to get better. And then he's had a really good fall camp. I think AJ's one of those guys that has the ability to take fundamental drill work and apply it to group and team settings. And that's one of the ways that he was able to get on the field from a special team standpoint. He's a really good technician. And a lot of the things that showed up to why he had success as a special teamer is showing up to him playing linebacker. He does everything right. Doesn't mean he never makes a mistake, but he does all the little things the right way, and that puts him in the best position to be successful.
Stick with AJ. What does it say about guys like he and Donnie to not come in as recruited guys, highly recruited guys, and then just kind of keep patiently working their way up? And what does that do? What does that bring in terms of character, I guess?
Yeah, I think those types of players on your team are important. I think they're the glue guys. They're like the mortar between the bricks that keep everything together. Both those guys, and in my career, just from the experience of it, when guys are able to get their feet wet by being big contributors on the special teams units, especially the coverage units, a lot of times that will transition you into a role defensively because you had to earn the right to be on those cover units. And eventually you keep at it, you keep, staying the course. A lot of times those opportunities do present themselves because they are older, they're more experienced, they're veterans within the defense, and opportunities when they present themselves, if you take advantage of them, that's what you love to see in sports. Guys that may not have had the pedigree or background in terms of the recruitment, but they fight their way to the top. And this is a meritocracy, and the guys that earn the right to play are the ones that are going to play.
The fact that you mentioned meritocracy, like the fact that yourself, Coach White, Coach Norvell, all are on the same lockstep and playing guys who maybe didn't have that level of prestige. I guess what does that say about culture has to kind of be established?
Yeah, I mean, you got to, I think for any organization, but for a football team specifically to operate at a high level, you have to go earn it. You got to earn what your role is within the program. No different for coaches. Coach Norvell has an expectation for me in terms of what my production and what my value is, and I got to bring it to the table every single day. It was the same for the players, regardless of where you might fall in the revenue share or the NIL world. You got to be able to be a producer, and you see it in the NFL too. Undrafted free agents that go on to be guys that have very successful careers. There's somebody that didn't think they were draft worthy, but that didn't affect the team in terms of how they viewed them and being able to help them. And that's the same way I look at guys who are walk-ons, just like you would look at an undrafted free agent. Can they help our football team, yes or no? And if they can, put them in the best position to be successful.
What goes into choosing the player that wears the green dot? Is it usually just a linebacker? Does the person have to be a really good communicator? And do you know who's going to do it?
Yeah, so the green dot, I think, is a little bit a philosophical thought for each defense, and last year when it was really the first year, obviously we did it. It was primarily the Mike linebacker or the linebackers that were going to kind of make the calls and set the fronts. A little bit different with Coach White. He wants to use the green dot more from a situational awareness standpoint than necessarily making the calls. Just because, one thing that's different in college than the NFL level is we don't face a lot of offenses that truly huddle. So defensively, we don't really huddle. So us having the ability just to communicate with one guy, that doesn't always translate as well as it does maybe in the NFL, where a lot of the offenses do kind of come out of a huddle. And so we're using it a little bit different in terms of how we're approaching it, but I think it will be equally as efficient.
5 of the 6 return guys are running backs. Why do running backs fit that part? Is it partly because of the depth of that position for this team? And also, how do you handle the guys? How you got
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the two things you mentioned. I mean, the running back room has quality depth for one, but for two, you want guys that you trust to have ball in hand skills. Those guys obviously are in a position where that's their craft that they work every day. They're consistent in terms of their ability to catch it, to get vertical, to take hits. And really those are the ones that stood out the most as we went through our process of evaluation and in terms of who we were going to have back there in return roles.
When you look at, there's so much talk about Alabama's offensive line and the talent they have there. Can you sense guys, just the competitor spirit and guys just being excited about that opportunity and that challenge?
Yeah, I think obviously, there's a lot of respect for our opponent, but I think to go along with that, there is that desire that our guys have to go show and prove who we are and what we're all about. And I do think the D-line will take that as a challenge, and the backers as well. I know Coach T. Knight will have those guys fired up and ready to roll. And it's going to be a great challenge and a great opportunity for us across the board, and one that I know our guys are excited about facing on Saturday.
Any other questions? Corey? The linebacker position in particular, every game you want them to be physical. Every game you want them to run through blocks and not around blocks necessarily. How vital is it for this game in particular, and kind of for setting a tone for what this season is going to be and what this defense is going to be?
No, I mean, I think you said it. I think this is a tone setter for us. It's our first opportunity to go against an opponent with this defensive system, with this group of players. And, you want to go establish the standard of the way in which we're going to play in the linebacker room. And that is going to start with being a physical unit. That is going to start with just the toughness that it's going to take to be able to go down and down out and trade punches with this team on Saturday. And, I think our guys know what is about to happen. I think they're getting their minds right for it, and I fully expect us to be able to put our best foot forward there.
Got an Ira for those? Ira, go ahead.
Justin Pryor was telling us last week how, he really was skeptical about changing defensive systems but how much he has learned to love it and appreciate what you guys are doing. Has it been fun seeing him kind of
Yeah, it's been fun coaching Juice in general, just from the standpoint of he's a guy that has the unique ability to bring the same mindset and same work ethic every single day. I can't think of a time from when we started tour of duty through spring ball, fall camp, and now into our game prep where I ever felt like he just came to a meeting or to a practice and just went through the motions of doing it. So when you get to coach guys like that, you want to see the gradual progression of improvement because they're earning it. They're earning the right to get better because the approach they're taking. And he's fully bought into the defense. He's bought into a leadership role. I think he has that naturally within him. And, it's good to see some of that leadership emerge. And it's something that we certainly need. And I think it's going to be an asset for him as well.
Corey, last one. I assume you think you probably have 5 or 6 guys that you can play on Saturday and probably will play on Saturday. What dictates snap counts and reps? You have the starters, but how much of the other guys will play?
I think it's twofold when you're going with rotation is, first of all, you want fresh legs out there on the field, and especially first games where there's a lot of nervous energy, a lot of jitters that go with it. So what I've always done throughout my career is I've kind of scripted the rotation in the first quarter, meaning, depending on each group, but I'll give you for instance, going 2 to 3 series with the starters, and then saying on that third or fourth series, that's when the next group is going to go in for a series. That way you get everyone kind of involved early, especially in case there's an injury that you need to be able to make a substitution late. I don't like it when a guy's first game experience is in the second half because they're not really in the flow and the rhythm of the game. But after that scripted element to it, then it really becomes kind of a hot hand mentality. Like the guys who are playing the best are going to continue to play the most reps. And, even if I'll give you an example, like Jared Verse used to get frustrated at me because through the first 3 quarters of games that were competitive throughout, I rotated him. And the point was, so in the fourth quarter, I never took him out. You want to make sure that your guys are ready for those moments at the end that might be the most critical of the game. So there's a little bit of that mentality. Obviously, coaching linebackers is different than coaching defensive linemen, but same as approach in terms of you want to get guys involved early, but then you want to make sure that the guys you want on the field in the fourth quarter are ready to go.